of the dregs of this Hydro Boost Hydrating Cleanser. Now, I think last week we were talking about the benefits of consistent cleansing in terms of barrier function, but it's also useful, you know, I pointed out that when you cleanse, it's a form of exfoliation. And it can also help for those of you who are predisposed to developing ingrown hairs. It really helps with the gentle exfoliation and softening the hairs and lifting them up out from pointing inwards into the skin, you know what I mean? I think this morning, instead of my Q10 serum, I'm gonna come in with a little of this vegan rice milk toner. I have a video, as a side note, all about the benefits of rice water for skin. This kind of is like an easier way to achieve that than going through the process of isolating the rice water. But truthfully, this particular product, I don't see like a dramatic difference in my skin. I think it would be a good thing though to put on, speaking of shaving bumps, I think it would be a good thing to put on after shaving to reduce shaving irritation. So I finished the Skin Aqua UV Super Moisture Milk I was using last week, and I'm gonna come in with the hyaluronic acid watery sun gel from Isntree. Summertime acne is a real thing. It's actually called Majorca acne, especially if you live in like a tropical humid climate. Sure, acne sometimes gets a little bit better temporarily from the sun because the sun is immunosuppressive, but then it actually can rebound and worsen. One thing that certainly worsens acne quite a bit is if you pick or squeeze at your pimples, but this can be actually very challenging to avoid. A lot of people absentmindedly pick when they get stressed out. I want to take a moment to thank today's video sponsor, Hero Cosmetics. If you are somebody who deals with acne breakouts and sometimes you absentmindedly pick, takes a long time for those pimples to go away, you need to check out the Mighty Patch. What the heck is it? If you're not familiar, it's a hydrocolloid pimple patch. And what that's gonna do is two main things. First of all, if you have a pimple that's got some inflammatory exudate starting to come to a head, if you will, pus, for example, it's gonna help absorb some of that. Ultimately, that's gonna flatten the pimple out. The other thing about these patches, though, that I think is gold for those of you who struggle with picking is that it serves as a barrier to protect from your fingers picking and squeezing. So that's really gonna help support healing and get that pimple to go away much faster. It can't heal so long as you're picking, but you've gotta have something to help you out, break that picking cycle. But you know, there are a lot of these on the market, and I have to say, I keep coming back to the Mighty Patch time and time again because of all the ones that I've ever tried out, these deliver. Not only do they work, but they're super thin, super lightweight, comfortable to wear. You can't see them. I mean, if you get up close, you can see them, but they really do a nice job camouflaging the pimple. They're comfortable to wear. When I wear them, I forget I have them on. You can wear them overnight while you sleep, wake up the following morning, and you know, if you have a particularly inflammatory pimple, when you remove it, you can see some of that exudate come out, and then you can see that the pimple has gotten flatter. It's very gratifying in that sense. Or, you know, if you want, you could also wear them throughout the day comfortably. In my opinion, they are a much better option than trying to camouflage a pimple with concealer or makeup, because you know that ends up getting cakey and flaky, especially if you have a very inflammatory pimple that oozes a bit. It's going to break up the makeup and just it's going to be more obvious than had you left it alone. So these are a really great option. Now this is the Mighty Patch, but the original one. You get 36 in this box, but they also make one for your nose. If you get a lot of blackheads and pimples on your nose, this is a great one. These stay on too. Like if you roll over, toss and turn in your sleep, these aren't going anywhere. They're not gonna end up, you know, flying off of your face. They stick on, but they're breathable. So you don't feel like you've got something stuck on your face like tape or anything. They're very breathable and comfortable. They don't make you overheat. They're not irritating. They also make a rectangular one for the jawline. That is a really good option too. And then they make bigger ones, smaller ones, a variety of different sizes. If you have been interested in trying out the Mighty Patch, now is a great time because they are offering you guys 15% off site-wide, plus you can get free shipping on orders over $35 or more. With that in mind, I have to tell you, I have been recommending their Rescue Balm for a few years now. This is a great product For those of you who get breakouts, they start to heal and they're like still very irritated, dry, flaky, maybe very itchy. This is an excellent skin protectant for those breakout prone areas. It's a very nice balm. It's got peptides in it, which help hydrate the skin. It has panthenol, a very good moisturizing ingredient. I mean, you can see it going on. It's like a very nice skin protectant. Use my code Dr. Dray to get 15% off site-wide, plus free shipping on orders over $35. Thank you, Hero Cosmetics, for sponsoring this portion of today's vlog. Time to crack into Grin and Bear It, another Raven's Brew award-winning roast. The full city roast, decadently luxurious, heavenly syrupy body. I don't know what to do about these beans. If you'll recall from the last time I opened up a new bag, I'm pretty sure these are the same beans. It's not enough for a cup of coffee, so I just keep dumping a fresh bag on top of them. I don't know. We'll just call them the bottom feeders for now. I buy this coffee on iHerb. If you're new here, I'm a huge fan of shopping on iHerb. Like, I get a lot of pantry staples, but you can also get skincare on there. Definitely check it out. So I've heard good things about NYX, and I wanted to try out their eyeshadow. So I ordered this eyeshadow palette because I like the browns. I wanted to see how it compared to the NARS one I've been using, because honestly, the colors are kind of similar, but more of a selection here. So we'll see how that performs, because if it's as good as the NARS one I've been using, then I'm gonna stick with this because it's a lot more affordable. Then I saw these and I thought they were so cute. These hair clamps that are flowers. I thought they were so fun for summer. I don't know if you guys can see it. Isn't it cute? Oh. It's an easy way to just like dress up a little sloppy day. I just finished filming a little bit in one of my favorite retailers, the Dollar Tree. Y'all better get excited for that video. It's not gonna be just like one of my usual Dollar Tree videos. It's gonna be a Dollar Tree skincare video like you've never seen from me before. So, I mean, even if you don't shop at the Dollar Tree, you're going to wanna watch this because it's gonna be like out of this world, all I can say. I mean, what else do you have to do? It's summertime, it's boiling hot. You're gonna wanna watch this because you're gonna see gems that are not featured elsewhere. That's all I'm saying, you know. Let's check it out, y'all. Cream Shop has some acne skincare. Let's check it out. What acne spot treatment with tranexamic acid, propolis, and cica. Now, propolis is hydrating, but it is a relatively common allergen. Niacinamide, y'all know the deal. That's good for acne. It's good for redness, hyperpigmentation, the moisture barrier. It has anti-aging benefits. Willow bark is anti-inflammatory. This does have fragrance, unfortunately. The compounds from centella can help with barrier recovery, and tranexamic acid applied topically may help with hyperpigmentation, but it also may help with redness. What's their hydrating and healing serum with vitamin C and glycolic acid? Licorice root is anti-inflammatory and good for redness and hyperpigmentation. Now this serum also looks like has fragrance. The vitamin C is 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid. That's a stable form of vitamin C, but you know, it might help with oxidative stress, but as far as the benefits in terms of improving collagen, hasn't been shown with 3-O-ethyl. Scent theory, I mean, of course these are going to be scented. They're kind of reminding me of the Victoria's Secret body lotions, which, as a side note, you can get those on Amazon now. Summer peach, shea butter, and coconut oil. I wonder how this performs. Aside from the fragrance, which again is a common allergen, actually looks kind of decent. Snagging some ribbed tanks for under $5 a piece. We have red, melon, and this vibrant blue. I have a pair of black linen, faux linen, I should say, shorts that I think those will look cute with. This is kind of brilliant. It's a drink holder, but you can put snacks in it too. So you can just be one-handed. I'm here at my favorite place, the library. I read a book by this author a long time ago, and it was quite enthralling. But Island Beneath the Sea, I have not read. Is this a large print? Yeah. I enjoy reading large print, but I always feel guilty, like, checking them out, that I'm taking them away from someone who needs them. So I try and not do that. This kind of sounds entertaining as well. Because I'm here in the library, y'all know what that means. I'm gonna waste like 3 hours. Not waste, it's never a waste to spend time in the library, but like, I can't just come in here, drop off my books, and like walk out. The Precious Days essays. Yeah, if you don't have to feel as though you have the time to commit to a whole book, you know, maybe you're not even much of a reader, I highly recommend like getting a book of short stories and just reading a short story like before you go to bed. It's a great way to unwind and help you fall asleep. Those are essays though, so they may be longer, I'm not sure. Having a book sale too. Here Comes the Fudge. Oh, that looks cute. Fun beach read. I have some DVDs. Happy Baking. Cheesecakes Extraordinaire. This is a DVD. Is this like for teaching your child Japanese? Or maybe it's just a Japanese cartoon. I wanted to show you guys that I did use that NYX eyeshadow palette that I ordered, and so far so good. There was some fallout with one of the shades, but I was able to deal with that just by applying more sunscreen under my eyes, which helped remove the fallout, but otherwise it seems okay. We'll see how it wears. Something else I wanted to update you guys on is, remember last weekend I had to have that friendship bracelet making kit? I started making a bracelet, and I don't know, this is like one of the most basic friendship bracelet patterns, if you will. It's just, you know, tying knots. Yeah, so I bought this kit last weekend, the True to You. I got this at Michael's, and I bought it, it's so funny, I bought it because I was expecting that there would be like a ton of different patterns in here, and honestly the instructions are like for 2 bracelets, and I already knew how to make the one. That was the whole reason why I bought this, but I have to say, you get a lot in this kit. I already have, these are the flosses that I already got going for the bracelet that I just showed you, but you also get all of these, a lot of pretty colors, so you can make a lot of bracelets. Plus you get these little alphabet square beads, so you can do like your name. You get the alphabet circle beads. You get 5 packets of these pretty like shimmery beads, pink, purple, darker pink, shimmery mermaid white, and seafoam green. Safety pins and a needle. And you also get this stretchy stuff to make, like, I guess just plain beaded bracelets. I have a lot of bracelets actually that I've purchased over the years that are on this kind of stretchy material. And it comes with this cute little daisy charm. And then the instructions you get, I mean, it shows you how to make a few things. So this is the like most basic one here. And then it kind of, one thing that's cool, it shows you how to make these knots that a lot of bracelets you buy have, where you can close, you know, you pull the ends to tighten the bracelet. Shows you how to do that. I don't need instructions for how to put beads on a string. I would have liked more friendship bracelet patterns, but whatever. If you have a child, or if you're a child at heart like myself and you want to keep hands occupied, this is great. Speaking of skin picking, we were talking about earlier, you know, doing little crafts like that, keep your hands occupied. It really can help cut down on the urge to pick. This is the antiperspirant that I use, Vanity Cream. It's really no nonsense, free of fragrance. Now, I've said this in videos before, but if you're new here, this is going to be, this can be a game changer for you in terms of antiperspirants. They're safe. first of all of the fear mongering around aluminum and antiperspirants. Check out my video, I debunk all of that. But the main issue with aluminum antiperspirants is that they can be irritating. Now, here's the thing. They work by, the salts get in the sweat gland and cause the sweat gland under your arm to involute. And so ultimately what that does is you make less sweat. It's not a permanent change. Eventually, you know, things will go back to the way they once were. It's not a permanent change. But with consistent use of an antiperspirant, you're gonna get ultimately a reduction in the output of sweat. That's gonna help with body odor because you're gonna have the bacteria on your skin, they break down that sweat, and that's what causes body odor. Not to mention, excessive sweating, it can lead to chafing, skin breakdown, make you more predisposed to little skin infections. And you know, so here's the thing, when it comes to using an aluminum antiperspirant, the best way actually to use it is not in the morning, but rather at night before you go to bed. You apply it. The aluminum in the antiperspirant makes its way into the sweat gland while you are sleeping. While you are sleeping, the rate of sweat output is much lower. So it gives the aluminum salt a chance to get in there. Then when you wake up the following morning, you don't need to put antiperspirant on because it's already made its way into the sweat gland. And that's nice because if you're someone whose skin is easily irritated by aluminum antiperspirants, what you can do is when you wake up in the morning, you can actually, you know, if you get in the shower, you can wash the antiperspirant, you know, get your underarm area wet, let whatever antiperspirant residue is on the top, on the skin surface hanging out there, let that rinse off. It's already made its way down below, you know, into the sweat gland. You don't need it hanging out on the skin surface. The stuff hanging out on the skin surface is what leads to irritation. Now, a lot of antiperspirants have a ton of fragrance, and that's, you know, kind of what people like because the fragrance, in some cases, masks body odor. Not always, sometimes it makes you smell a little weird. But fragrance in antiperspirants is a common reason for people to have problems with antiperspirants in addition to the aluminum, which can be irritating, because the fragrance in antiperspirants, it's quite concentrated, and you have a situation where you have skin-on-skin contact, it's moist, the skin under the arms is a bit delicate, so you have an enhanced penetration of fragrance there. It can be particularly irritating. And so, you know, by eliminating that product on the skin surface in the morning, if you're someone who showers in the morning, you can do that, you know, shower it off. It cuts down on the risk of irritation. Now, if you're like me and you don't shower in the morning, I shower at night, well then when you wake up in the following morning, you don't have to wash it off, but again, if you are very sensitive to aluminum antiperspirants, you might just take a washcloth, a damp washcloth, and just, you know, wipe it off, towel dry the skin. Now, deodorant is a different ball game. Deodorants work to either mask body odor with perfume, again, same issue with fragrance allergy, and or deodorants work to cut down the amount of bacteria under the arm that break down sweat and lead to body odor. And some natural deodorants, you know, they have like hydroxy acids, which allegedly may help in normalizing the skin pH a bit in a way to favor, you know, fewer of the microbes that break down your sweat. That's largely theoretical, but that is how some deodorants work. I personally don't use deodorant because deodorant just masks body odor mostly with perfume, or it can cut down on the bacteria that lead to sweat. But the way I use deodorant is to use a benzoyl peroxide wash my underarms with a benzoyl peroxide wash. That deodorizes. And you don't have to leave that on the skin to cause irritation. It really can change the game. That combined with antiperspirants can really help you out a lot in terms of the two together, washing under the arms with a benzoyl peroxide wash and then using antiperspirant at night to cut down on the amount of sweat that you make. Those two together can really help. And for me personally, this isn't the case for everybody, but I actually, a stick of antiperspirant lasts me a long time because first of all, I find that when I use it consistently, I don't need to use it every night. You know, you only really probably need, you know, unless you have hyperhidrosis, excessive sweating. If you're just like an ordinary run-of-the-mill sweat producer, you may need to use less, especially if you start using it consistently. you may find that if you back down on the frequency of it a bit, you notice that you're not sweating on those off days, because it does have some carryover effect the following day, because it's caused a sweat gland to involute. So keep that in mind, especially if you're somebody who finds that antiperspirants irritate your underarm easily. That can totally be a game changer. Another way to deodorize, and aside from benzoyl peroxide, is like Hibiclens. I have a video on Hibiclens. The problem with Hibiclens is that theoretically, Hibiclens is a brand name for chlorhexidine. Theoretically, you can run into emergence of antimicrobial resistance to chlorhexidine. It's not common, but it definitely can occur. I'm coming in with this stuff. I know I'm getting off topic here, but this stuff's good. There is a possibility of that. So it's not to say that there's a problem using Hibiclens, but for using it for like the purposes of deodorant, I personally think it's better to stick with like benzoyl peroxide, because the resistance thing is not an issue there. Oh man, y'all, I'm telling you, summer is like already, like June is already halfway over, right? When you guys are watching this, it's crazy to me how fast it's going by. Today was a toasty one, that is for sure. But in a kind of a pleasant way. I honestly have grown to really, really adore summer. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. Don't forget to check out Hero Cosmetics Mighty Patch. I'm serious, it's awesome for cutting down on picking, for sure. If y'all enjoyed this vlog, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.